or does not consume GMOs at all and cannot be served with a genetically modified food by law. And this is also a practice of many other countries in Europe, including the Holy City, the Pope, who leads very many Catholics in the world, and pious people, and I believe they follow him and they will obey him, does not consume GMOs and has condemned them. And I believe similarly the Muslims, who have a word commonly known as haram, meaning anything which may tamper with God, what God has given to be holy, may not be correct. In the situation of Kenya, and in the event this ban has been lifted and consumption of GMOs may ensue immediately or later, then I want to urge this House, we need serious regulatory framework. We need, first of all, a policy which must be debated by the two houses, and during public participation, all these scientists making contributions on this will make a contribution during public participation, and those against GMOs will also make their contribution. In fact, the world, not just Kenya, is divided into two halves, for those who support and those who don't support GMOs. The latest experiment was carried out by a French scientist in 2012, and upon feeding rats with genetically modified food and a little bit of the pesticides which GMOs are sprayed with, these rats, all of them, got growths commonly known as cancer. And that particular experiment has also happened in the United States, where a famous company now called Maaanzo, now changed its name, had been sued severally by people who had consumed GMOs and had medical complications, and it could be proven scientifically, and most of the suits were settled out of court. And also for farmers who will be encroached by other farmers growing GMOs. That's why we should have a law such that wherever is a GMO area, then it is demarcated. And where it is an organic area, it is demarcated. In Germany, you see the farms where they are growing corn to feed on horses or animals, because GMO has lesser effect on animals. And the horses are not eaten, but they consume food, generated by GMO. Those farms are marked, and in fact, bypassers are warned not to pick that particular maize because it is genetically modified. Because, some people in Germany, there is a culture you can pick any maize from a farm as you walk along, and you may roast it or boil it. So there is a warning, and it is clear. And in our own context, we only have an authority, an authority dealing with GMOs, which is a regulatory authority. We do not have, it's a parastatal. We do not have an act of parliament. And therefore, we have to have a policy first, an act of parliament, and regulations therein, if we were really to allow GMOs in this country. Otherwise, it goes into consumer rights, which are protected in the Constitution. If GMO food has been provided here in the House, I should have a choice to know that on Wednesday cookie is total GMO here. Like now when the president visited yesterday, and the tradition for many presidents in the world, they don't consume GMO either by tradition or by law. So there should be a warning already that whatever we are feeding here or our homes is genetically modified. One time in the National Assembly, when I was a member there, I raised an issue of something called Aromat, which was a new product which had been introduced in the market, and was clearly written that it is manufactured out of GMO products. And I can assure you, Mr. Speaker, the day I raised it in Parliament and in the Committee of Agriculture, it was immediately withdrawn from the shelves in the country in conformity with the ban.
What is your point of order, Senator Cherangei?
Mr. Speaker, I rise in pass one of Standing Order 122, 1E, that says a senator commits an act of gross disorderly conduct if the senator deliberately gives false information to the Senate. Senator Maaanzo is engaging in a wild goose chase by alleging that the government will